Hello everyone, Jen at Ink Paper Rubber coming to you on this very warm Wednesday evening. I hope you all are having a good week so far. It has been a busy week for me. At my part-time job, we are going live on some new software this week, and so that has been keeping me very busy. And we are getting new items galore in. As I mentioned, we have new tailored expressions that came in yesterday. I also did get an order from Notions that has some fun new things, and I actually managed to hurry. That just came late today. I managed to get that checked in and ready to show to you. I also have another box that came today here with brand new items from Memory Box. And I'm expecting a couple of other orders yet in this week, maybe on Friday. So I will be back with you again. I'm not quite sure when, but I definitely want to share with you all the great things we have today. This does include a new release from Tailored Expressions. It's their patriotic release. And as always, if you see something that you would like to purchase on our Facebook Live today, you can just comment on here sold with the item name. We are still happy to ship items, so if you would like your item shipped, just go ahead and be sure and add the comment ship along with sold and the item number, and we will get an invoice out to you, and we can get that shipped off. Be sure and message me your contact information if I don't already have that. Otherwise, if you don't need your item shipped, you can just comment sold and the item number, and we will be happy to hold on to them for you. We will not send an invoice for those, and as long as you either come by the store to pay and pick them up, or call us and give us your credit card information, we will be happy to hold these through the end of the weekend. Please be sure, if you do purchase something today, that you don't forget to either come by or give us a call to purchase it, because otherwise we may release it for other shoppers, and there's probably going to be some things in here that are going to go really, really quickly. So please remember to either give us a call starting tomorrow or come by the store by the end of the weekend to pay for them. So let me, actually, if you're going to call, wait and call on Friday. I won't be here tomorrow. Manna will, and you can certainly come by, but I'd rather, if you're going to call with your credit card info, you wait till I'm at the store. So anyhow, we'll get you taken care of. So let's go ahead and jump in. Hey there, Jan, and show you what we got in. First of all, we did get a little bit of a restock on Tailored. We do have some new items, but I was out of some of their new designer dangles, and I wanted to get those back in. In particular, I got back in the designer dangles drop-in icons die. This die is $12, and it goes with the designer dangles drop-in. Just going to go over that really quickly because I know there's been some confusion. The drop-in die consists of two separate dies. This first large die is the actual earring die. It has the hole up there for your ear wire, and this only cuts around the outside edge. This open part here, it does not cut out open when you cut it, so it just cuts a solid teardrop shape. But what's really unique about it is you have this special drop-in die, and this drop-in die only cuts, let me show you here, it only cuts this lotus flower pattern. It does not cut the outside edge of this. What this is designed to do is when you're cutting, if you want to cut that lotus design out of your earring, you layer these two dies together. You just drop this one in the center of there and cut them together, and you'll get the teardrop that then has the lotus shape cut into it. So that is how that works. And the designer dangles drop-in icons is really designed to work with this die, not really by itself, because these do not cut anything around the outer edge. You can see, I think there, that the raised cutting area is only that inside part. So again, you drop this in to the center of this die, and then you get that shape cut out of the center. And I will show you some samples. So if you missed out on some of these before, I do have them back. I have the drop-in icons here, the original drop-in die. Those are both $12. I also still have the angled earrings for $12, the diamond earrings for $12, and the oval earrings for that one is $15. And I will show you some samples. of those. But let's jump into the new items. As I mentioned, this is their patriotic release, so lots of fun things for the 4th of July. It's going to be here before we know it. This first one is the All Tucked In Patriotic Clear Stamp Set. And this set is $8, and you can see it has all these little clear stamps on it, lots of sentiments and some great icons, stars, and fireworks on here. This is designed to work with the Tailored Expressions All Tucked In box die, but you can certainly use it on your own just for the sentiments or to create fun backgrounds with it. That is the Tucked In Patriotic Stamp Set, and it is $8. Next up, we have a new mini strips stamp. This is designed to work with the previous mini strips dies. This one is the mini strips patriotic, and this stamp is $10. This is a single stamp that has these sentiments on there, and as I mentioned, it's designed to be used with the mini strips dies so that you can stamp once and quickly cut out all of these sentiments. So that is the mini strips patriotic stamp for $10. We do have in stock the asymmetrical mini strips die. This will work with that stamp. This will cut out all of those sentiments at once, and you can see that it does the angled edges on those. That's the asymmetrical mini strips die, and it is $19. If you already have the original mini strips die, which just has straight edges, we also do have the backer that cuts out. I believe it's 1/8 of an inch larger all around. So you can see there kind of that greenish blue is where your original die would be, and then this backer die will cut a layering die for it. So this is not designed to use directly with the stamps, but rather it's designed to be used with the original mini strips die. That's the backer, and that is $24 for that die. All right, on to some more new things. This is a new background stamp. This one is the starry background, and this would be great for the 4th of July, but I think this would be awesome for all kinds of things, for Christmas, for birthdays, and for other celebrations. It's a single cling background stamp with all the stars, with the different patterns in them. Great to color those in, and then the little confetti background in there. This is the starry background stamp, and it is $15. A companion to that is the starry cutting plate die. This die is $28, and as you can see, this has the same layout as the stars on the background stamp, and there's a number of different ways that you can use this. You can stamp your stars, and then you can use this to cut the stars out and have all those individual stars to use as accents on your different projects. In addition, you can cut this out you can stamp your background and then die cut this from another sheet. It can be a different color, you can ink it or do whatever you want and pop it up and layer it over this, and the stars that you've stamped will show through here. This would also be great for making a shaker card with all those openings in the front. So this is the starry cutting plate, and it is $28. And finally, the third piece that goes along with all of this is the starry stencil. This stencil is $7. It is a single stencil, and all of those stars line up with the stars on the background stamp. So if you want to, you can stamp your background stamp, and you can then layer your stencil over it, and then you can easily color in those stars without cutting your coloring your background. So that is one way to use that. You could also use that stencil just on its own. So that is the starry stencil, and that is $7. We do have another stencil with stars on it, and this is part of their masking stencil line. This is the stars masking stencil, and this is actually a set of 2 different stencils. You can see here, I think on the front stencil, you have the 3 a little bit larger stars, and then you have some smaller stars scattered in the background. And then if you can see under there, the second stencil just has 1 large star in the center, and you can see that you also get the masking pieces for all of the bigger cutouts on there. So this is the stars masking stencil, and this is $14, and it is a set of 2 stencils. This next one is a new combo for Tailored Expressions, and I think this is a really ingenious idea. This is the fireworks background, and it is a stamp and a stencil background. So you get one large background stamp, and then you get actually two stencils that go with it. And so here on the back of the package you can see their number 1 is what the background stamp will stamp for you. And then here we have stencil number 2. You layer it over that, and you can see that stars in the center line up with those large stars in the background stamp. And so you can come in with your ink and blend in your ink color. And then the second stencil that you can see here in number 3 is very similar to the first one, but the little starbursts there are in different positions. So when you stamp first your background and then use your 2 stencils, you can get a multicolored look like you see here. That's how the red and the blue for the fireworks were done on this, because there are 2 stencils in here. So this is the fireworks combo. It is one large background stamp and it is 2 stencils, and the price on that is $25, and I can tell you that that's a good price. Normally a background stamp like that would be $15, and each of those stencils would be $7 a piece, which would come to a total of $29. So you're actually saving $4 in this bundle. And I will show you in some of the samples, you can totally use the stamp separately from the stencils if you would like to. So you can use just the stamp with other things. You can use just the stencils if you would like. So I think that is a really great bargain. And last but not least, this may actually be my favorite thing in this release, and when I first looked at it, I would not have thought that that was the case. This is the Pennant Parade, and it is a cling stamp and clear stamp combo. Tailored Expressions has done some of these before, and as you can see, the cling stamp is just this background of these open pennants, but then you get the clear stamps that fit in there that have all the different patterns and designs. So you stamp your background, and then you can come and fill in with all those fun different patterns, and that's how you can fill in and get all the different colors on your pennants. So this is the Pennant Parade combo, and this set is $18. All right, let's take a look at some of these samples, because I think that some of this stuff will make more sense. First of all, I just want to show you a few samples from the earrings. This is the diamond designer dangles. They have been layered together with a charm. And here you can see the angled designer dangles, the 2 sizes layered together, again with a charm added on them. And here is where you can see that designer dangles with the icon with the drop-in die. They have used the paw print from the icons to cut out the paw prints in there, and then they have just cut out this one without dropping anything in to get that solid background. If you're still confused, come in and I'll kind of explain how that works, because it is a little bit confusing on that. And lastly, here is the designer dangles ovals. That die set has 3 different sizes in it, and here you can see all of them all layered up. Here is the all tucked in patriotic set. You can see it's perfectly sized to go on little labels on here. That is the all tucked in die that you can see there. We actually do have that in stock. And I'm also going to point out that on the red and blue, that is actually using the stamp from the fireworks background. They have stamped that on their paper to make that fun little background of the dots and the stars. Here is another example of that combo, fireworks combo, all made up. You can see that the stamp was stamped in white on the craft, and then the 2 stencils were used to add the red and the blue on top of that. Here is a sample using the stars masking stencil, and I love how they did this one. They used the large single star, and they actually layered that with the plaid stencil that came out in the last release, and I believe we maybe do still have one of those in stock. So you can totally layer your stencils together to get a pattern inside of another stencil, which is always a lot of fun. Here is another sample where they have used the background stamp from the fireworks background, and then they have used the second stencil in the stars masking stencil to stencil all those larger stars on the front. And you can see there some of the sentiments from the patriotic mini strips on the front of that. All right, here is a sample with that pennant parade, and I just think that is so much fun. I believe they have probably used some of these stamps from the All Tucked In Patriotic to add the little stars and the fireworks there in the background. So that's what one of the things that makes that set so useful is that you can combine it with other things to fill in. See some of those little fireworks and the stars. They have added that into the background with the pennants, and I wanted to see if I could show you, because that is a great set. That is a great look for the 4th of July. But because you can change up your colors, that pennant parade, you can use that for so many other things, for birthdays. If you have some alphabet sets, you could even stamp a word in there. So I just think that is a really versatile stamp set, the combo of the cling stamp with the clear stamps. And finally, here is the starry background stamp. You can see that that has been stamped on a background, just a white background piece of paper, and they have come in and layered the starry stencil on top of it to quickly color in all those stars. And then they took another piece of light blue paper cardstock, which it looks like they maybe stamped the one of the backgrounds on there, and then they die cut it and they popped it up over the top of the stamped stars background. So that is a way to use all three of those together. So that is the new Tailored Expression set. Lots of really fun things that are great for the 4th of July, but a number of them are great for other occasions as well. All right, let's jump in and show you some of the other things that I got. First of all, I got in a restock on a few items. The first one that I got is this Brickworks 3D embossing folder from Tim Holtz. This was part of the Chapter 2 Sizzix release that came out earlier this year. This has been really, really popular, and when you see what this can do, I think you'll agree that it is. The dimension that you get with that 3D technology is just amazing. Those really do look like worn bricks. And what's really great, if you want to, here is the reverse or the debossed side of that, and that is really cool as well, and you could use that side if you wanted to. So this is the Brick 3D embossing folder, and that is $10. We also got in some more of the Dina Wakley gloss sprays. These are basically an acrylic paint, but rather than coming in a spray can, they just come in your regular spritzer bottle. We got the cheddar color in, which is a really great neutral color. We also got back in, after a wait, you'll be glad to know, Jan, that we have this in. This is the Tim Holtz Distress Embossing Glaze, and this is the weathered wood color. We do have a number of other colors in stock, but we have been waiting to get this one back. It's a really wonderful gray-blue color, so that is now back in stock. All right, next up we have some really fabulous new stamps from designer Molly Harrison. And she has a really wonderful illustration style that I think some of you are going to really love. These are clear photopolymer stamp sets. You can see there through the window, you can see it. And here on the front, it's showing us what the main design, each one of these has a main design. You can see that up there, but it also comes with a number of other clear stamps. This one comes with a total of 9. You can see you have some flowers and you have some sentiments there, but there you have your main image. And this girl is called Lily of Love, and this set is $17. I really like the packaging this comes in as well. The next one that we have is called Hearts, and here you can see your main image, and this one comes with a total of 13 stamps. It is also $17, and you can see again you get your main image and a number of sentiments and some other hearts to add on to there. This one is called A Summer Day, and there's your main image, the cute little fairy sitting on the toadstool. This one includes a total of 11 stamps. In addition to that image, you get some butterflies and flowers and some sentiments. That is A Summer Day, and it is $17. Next up, this one is called Sultry Sue, and she does look pretty sultry, another fairy that we have here among the flowers. This one has a total of 11 pieces, and again you have some additional flowers and some sentiments that come with this set. And the last one that we have is called Sea of Bubbles, and you have this wonderful mermaid image. This set has a total of 14 stamps, and in addition to the mermaid, you get some additional bubbles and a lot of fun sentiments. So this one is called Sea of Bubbles, and all of those sets are $17. The next thing we have is perfectly appropriate for this time. Those of you especially that are scrapbookers may appreciate this and want to get this to add to your scrapbook. This is a new paper pad from Photoplay, and it is called Living the Quarantine Life. And this is a pad. You have 8 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and you can see in here lots of fun things in here. Empty shelves, coronavirus. We have just some nice patterns. Of course, we have to have some here with toilet paper. I survived the great toilet paper crisis of 2020. Here we actually can see a brightly colored version of the virus. So this particular pad is called Living the Quarantine Life. You get 8 sheets of paper, and this set is $9.50. You can see you also get some great journaling cards down here with that. The next thing I have is really fun. It's something if you want something that's kind of mindless and you don't have to think too hard, but then end up with a really great element to add to your cards. You might like these 3D decoupage sheets. We've had some of these before, but it's been a while since we had some of them in. But this has some really great spring images on them. This is a single sheet of punch-out images, so you don't have to do any fussy cutting. Hooray. This is $1.75, and you actually get 3 different images, and what these are designed to do is to layer together to give you a 3D effect. So you can see we have the base image, which is image number 1, and then we have image number 2, which has the main part of the image, but it doesn't have all the background. So you would punch out this one and layer this one with a little bit of pop dots on top of number 1, and then you come down here to image number 3, and that one has a little bit less. You layer that one up more, and finally you can see you have your pieces down here for number 4 that you layer up. And again, this has 3 main images. There you can see the little rabbit and the duck with some flowers and eggs. And here is another image with a rabbit and the duck. And finally up here you have the 2 ducks. This particular sheet is called Best Friends, and it is just $1.75. We have 2 other sheets. This one is called Spring Arrangement, and one of them has this pot of hyacinths with the birdhouse is one of the images. Another image down here is this little pot with the bird's nest and some daffodils and some eggs in it. And then here is the 3rd image, again with a pot with some flowers and the eggs. That one is called Spring Arrangement. And the last one that we have is called Lapwing. I think that must be this particular kind of bird that you see there. You can see the bird on the nest with the little chicks, and here this one is just a little chick, and then here is the 3rd image. And I will maybe see if I can get Mana to put some of these together for you so that you can, if you stop by, you can see some samples, because when you get these made up and have them layered, it really is very striking, and they're really, really easy to do. All right, I have one more thing to share with you tonight, and that is the new Distress Oxide Color or Distress Color Speckled Egg. The only thing that I have received so far is the Distress Oxide pad. I have everything else on order, but so far this is all that I have received. It is really a struggle to get these in. I'm sure that the whole issue with the quarantine has affected Ranger's ability, because they produce all these at their factory in New Jersey, and I'm sure that they've had periods where they have not had a full crew in there. So Be sure that I am working my hardest to get these in for you. But right now I have the Distress Oxide Pad in the new colored speckled egg, and I do have a few of them left. I had a number of people that pre-ordered, and so they get first dibs, but I do have a few of them left. This is the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide Pad, and that is $6.25. All right, I think that is it for now. If anyone has any questions, now is the time to let me know. If you want to go back and rewatch, and if you see something you want, feel free to go ahead and comment on here and let me know. If you need it shipped, be sure and let me know that. And send me your contact information if I don't already have it. Otherwise, you can come by the store anytime tomorrow, Thursday through Sunday, to pick your items up, or if you want to just call in and pay and have us hold them, then you can call Friday through Sunday and we'll take that information over the telephone. And like I say, I have more new things in, and I will try and give you a heads up. I'm going to try and actually maybe Friday morning do another Facebook Live with the new memory box items if I can get those all checked in. So that is my plan right now. So stay tuned, and I will let you know what's going on. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye. Hours on Sunday, 1 to 5. Pretty much our hours right now, Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sunday, 1 to 5. So Sundays are a good day to come in. It's usually not too busy, so feel free to come in and see us on Sunday. Have a great evening, everyone. Goodbye.